I'm Corbett, the host of the Arts Shrink. I've worked for decades in all areas of the arts as an actor, director, producer, media executive, and now I'm ready to share everything that I learned with you. This is a really exciting time for me. It's the first time that I can speak freely, meaning no one can edit me or tell me that I can't say something because of possible political ramifications. Now it's just you and me, and I promise to be honest and forthright with you always. I'm starting with solo artists. In this episode, I want to acknowledge that I'm referencing a research study called The Gifts of the Muse. The study was conducted by the Rand Corporation in Santa Monica, California, and commissioned by the Wallace Foundation in New York City. It was published in 2004, a long time ago. But as far as I know, nothing else of this nature has been written. But if you find something, please let me know. So, what gifts are solo artists born with? And here I quote directly from the Rand report. The artistic creation is one of the most complex and mysterious activities of human consciousness. It is only partly intelligible, even to those who have experienced it directly. However, accounts of the process generally agree that the artist draws from two different kinds of abilities. The first is a highly developed capacity for vivid experiencing of the world, including one's own inner private world. In Eudora Welty's terms, the artist has a cultivated sensitivity for observing life, a capacity for receiving its impressions, a lonely, unremitting, unaided, unaidable vision, end quote. Solo artists are born with the ability to see the world more vividly than other people. The next gift that solo artists are born with is the gift of expression. And here I'm also including collaborative artists whose primary gift is one of expression and translation. I'm quoting again from the Rand report. The second capacity is the ability to express this unique experience of experiencing the world more vividly through a particular medium. Joyce Carey, the Irish novelist, writes that the creative process is a kind of translation, not from one language to another, but from one state of existence into another, from the receptive into the creative, from the purely sensuous impression to the purely reflective and critical act. The material that artists work with, whether language, image, sound, or movement, is not raw material. In working with the medium, the artist moves back and forth between their vision and the perspective of the imagined audience in a process that is protracted labor. And what is completed becomes an object in the physical world. Art has been described as a bit of frozen potential communication from the artist, often speaking to audiences over long periods of time and great cultural distances. For solo artists, the materials that they work with are generally external materials like a canvas or clay or the paper that they write on, or a variety of other materials. For the collaborative artist, what they use during the translation process is all or part of their bodies. A musician uses their hands and sometimes their mouths, and sometimes their hands and their mouths together. Certainly singers, dancers, actors use their entire bodies to accomplish their translation. And finally, and perhaps most important, all artists, both solo artists and collaborative artists, have an inner drive to create or translate their abilities for the majority of people who do not possess their gifts. Again, they are driven to create or translate their gifts for all people who do not possess their gifts. In addition, there are other gifts that are present in artists, like intuition and imagination and talent. This unlikely combination of inherent gifts and attributes makes born artists very rare. And for those of you who may now be feeling that you're not a born artist, you have a role to play also. If you have talent and are driven to use it, the applied arts are for you. Applied arts include graphic design, fashion design, animation, interior design, visual merchandising, and I could go on. I will cover the applied arts in depth in another post. You can access the transcript of this episode by visiting the Arts Shrink blog site, and you'll also find long-form articles that I've written over time. Next, we'll talk about the monumental event that caused artists to leave their rehearsal halls and studios and become teachers and social workers, and why respect for artists has diminished as a result.